How y'all doing? Richard and Ben down here at AGC Vermont, and we've spent most of our morning with VOSHA.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of a long, drawn-out morning, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it was fun.
Was it? So, what do you think you learned from the 2 or 3 incidents that we were addressing today?
Well, in terms of what they are, we got to work on some HAZCOM stuff. We got to work on some fall protection stuff, and we got to work on some communication stuff between GCs and subs and our job sites themselves.
So it seems like there's an increased awareness
Yeah.
of HAZCOM.
Yep.
And an increased number of complaints because of HAZCOM.
Yeah, the HAZCOM complaints are huge.
And so there's that going on. And then there's a whole nother piece going on fall protection that we can probably address at another time.
Yeah, I don't think we need to go into that today.
Okay, but HAZCOM seemed overwhelmingly, although the whole fall protection thing is we're trying to protect people from falling 6 feet. You don't want to fall 6 feet. You want to give them protection. The HAZCOM thing, in my mind, is keeping them from floating away at 6 feet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Inhaling vapors or whatever and getting sick or getting all messed up and floating away.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was quite present to me that we have to learn the standard and identify somebody. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, start by identifying someone to kind of be the lead or the responsible
job
party.
site.
Yeah.
And you got to collect, I call them MSDSs, but you guys, you're the younger group, you took that M and threw it away, and it's SDSs today.
Safety data sheets.
Yeah. And we got to have somebody as a primary responsibility for that and keep those SDSs on site and readily available. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And then should we have a written program?
Yeah, I mean, the written program is huge. That's ultimately what we're going to be held accountable for. So we have our written program, we have our SDSs, and then I don't want to jump in front of you here, but we also have our inventory list.
Inventory? What's an inventory list?
It's going to state all the chemicals that we have on site and that we're currently using. And that's an updated list, so if we go out and we get something that's not on it, we have to add it. And then, get the STS that goes with that. And, we got to maintain it.
So I need a pint of that methyl ethyl bad shit.
Yeah.
And all I've got to do is put it in this Gatorade container and go use it.
Well, I would do some labeling first. That's another piece.
Would you use a Gatorade container?
No, I probably wouldn't.
Okay, especially if it's orange.
Yeah.
Methyl ethyl bad shit.
If I did use Gatorade, though, I think I would use it, leave about that much, and then put it somewhere.
Would you? Without a label or anything
yeah,
on
without a
it?
label
Let
or
it
anything.
float away again,
Yeah.
right, man?
Yeah.
But
No.
you got to have labels on that.
Yeah, labeling's huge.
And it's I don't care if it's written with a Sharpie or what it is on a temporary container. It's got to be labeled.
Yeah, it goes back to the communication piece. Just making sure other people are aware what you're doing and what you're using.
And you keep mentioning maintaining this inventory. So if we get other stuff onto the site, we should get a MSDS on it. And your list can be out in the cloud or can be in paper in a notebook. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of different, what would you call them, programs that you can do. Apps, yeah, that you can do the online HAZCOM stuff.
Okay.
And, that works as long as, if you don't have service at a job site. I'm not really sure if you can use those apps with service or without service. I'm not too familiar with them.
As long as they're accessible.
Yeah, that's what I'm going
That's
into.
the bottom line is it's got to be accessible to everybody, and everybody's got to be able to get to it.
And know about it.
Correct. It doesn't matter what language you speak or whatnot. You've got to be able to understand that MSDS or SDS.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if there's a language barrier, we have to address that.
Which comes to our informing and training employees, and it's got to be in a language they understand as well in a way they understand, because not everybody is like you or me. I mean, you're a highly educated
Uh-huh.
guy, and then there's me who doesn't know shit.
Yeah.
And I got to understand the same thing you understand.
Yes. And even if we build a program and have a great inventory and a great list of SDSs, if no one knows about those or knows how to use them, then really it's not doing any good.
So when we come to an SDS or a MSDS, there's how many sections?
16 sections.
16 sections. And the first section is generally what it is,
Yeah.
right? And maybe a phone number for that company in case of an emergency.
Yeah, we'll have the pictograms on there too.
That generally comes into the second section, the classification of the chemical.
First
right?
page though, it's on.
It's on the first page, unless you print it sideways. But you get the little pictograms. That's those diamond-shaped Mr. Yuck stickers. And then you always like telling me we got to listen to 2, 4, 6, and 8. So you took the 16 sections down to 8.
Yeah, I like to say that even numbers, they're very specific to what we're doing.
Okay. And number 4 is first aid, so you should know that, and we should make sure people know that first aid piece. I like number 5 only because number 5 references the firefighting in case we have a fire. But 6 is the old man's section. It's accidental release measures.
Okay.
If something should happen that you accidentally release,
That's okay.
then we've got a release measure there to help cover you. And then 8, of course, is that exposure control or PPE section that you always like saying there's a part on engineering.
Yep.
And a part on
PPE.
PPE. What's that?
Personal protective equipment.
And within the PPE, they will identify glasses, gloves, and those
Respirators.
Now, if you're using respirators, though, what do you have to do?
Well, you've got to be fit tested. You've got to be clean shaven. You've got to have a program, and you got to have training. And an N95 is considered a respirator, so remember that.
Okay. And then, of course, when we finally get up to section 12, because I skipped some stuff in here, that kind of worries about the environment and the stuff out in the field. But again, 2, 4, 6, and 8, if you pick up a safety data sheet and train your employees, and you should, right?
You really should, yeah.
At the end of this thing, grab a MSDS or an SDS and just walk through your employees with it.
Yeah, and even if you're on a larger site, a multi-employer site, maybe not just your employees, but make sure everyone on site, even the subs, know.
That could be affected by the
exactly.
chemicals.
There's a lot of people on job sites, subs especially, that are going to be affected by this, so they should know as well, because that's important.
And then from time to time, you should evaluate your program. You should make sure that you have all the chemicals. You should make sure everybody understands the safety precautions and what's going on with it.
Yeah, maybe even ask your employees or other people on the job site if it's going well, if they have any opinions.
Okay. So that's kind of our toolbox talk for today, huh?
Yeah, I would say it's.
So what are you doing now?
We gotta go to Milton.
We're going to Milton for a safety day. Is that what we're doing?
That's correct.
Okay. And you've got that all lined up? You got everything all set?
Yeah, launch is at noon.
Okay.
And then
Hold on. He said launch. It's lunch. Ben will get us wherever we have to be if somebody guarantees him lunch. So if you'd like us to come out to your job site, if you'd like us to stop, visit, and do an audit or something, as I understand this, you're happy to go any place as long as they buy you lunch.
Yeah, that's.
Is that correct?
Yeah, it's correct.
You'll even bring donuts from time to time.
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, if you have any questions, if there's anything you need us for, if there's anything you want, remember, we're with AGC here at the office. Feel free to reach out. Give us a call at 223-2374. And remember, we're here for you. Anything we can do, let us know. Buy Ben lunch. Thank y'all.